issues on the 110. The 605 northbound construction in Whittier, all those orange cones are laid out, and traffic is a bit lighter, but I'm still getting reports of slowdowns on the 605 north from Washington on the approach to Whittier Boulevard. But again, it's better than it was. So if you put off that trip, you made the right choice. Here's where I'm seeing the slowest bit of traffic. It's on the 405 in the Huntington Beach area. The 405 southbound slowdowns begin near Bolsa. They clear up as you get to Brookhurst. And the 405 northbound slow from the 73, again, on the approach to Brookhurst. That's all due to that construction there. It's looking pretty good in Anaheim, even with the road work on the 91 west between the 55 and the 57, where, yes, there is a slowdown, but it's not too bad. Beyond that, the 57 looks very good. No backups on the 57 north getting into Diamond Bar. We did report an earlier crash on the 57 at the 60 in Diamond Bar, but I don't see any slowdowns associated with it. It looks pretty good out there. We are monitoring a new crash on the 105 east near Normandy Avenue. Everything appears to be on the shoulder, and a tow truck is on the way. SoCal's only reliable traffic reports every 10 minutes on the 5s from the KNX News 24-hour traffic center.
Some clouds and fog in the overnight hours. Overnight lows in the mid to upper 50s. Sunny, warm tomorrow. It's going to be a nice day. Lower 70s beaches. Mid-70s inland, mid-80s in the valleys. Even warmer Sunday and Monday. Right now, clear skies, 61 degrees along LA's Miracle Mile.
If you expect more, you drive more at the Simpson family of dealerships. Now get Memorial Day savings on their entire lineup of new Chevrolets, Cadillacs, Buicks, and GMCs. Stop by any of their three freeway closed showrooms in Irvine, Garden Grove, and Buena Park, or shop online anytime at SimpsonGM.com. For great Memorial Day savings, it's the Simpson family of dealerships. They're big enough to do, small enough to care. Hi, it's Margaret Carrero. For a while now, I have been dealing with tight ankles and my right shin hurting. I've also had pain on the left side of my foot under my pinky toe. It really made it uncomfortable to stand for long periods of time, which I do at work and at home to cook or wash dishes. I'm always shifting from one leg to the other. I tried rolling out and stretching with no luck, so I decided to check out the Good Feet store. They fitted me for arch support, which I didn't realize I could use with all of my different shoes. It really makes a difference having that proper support. Recently, I did some serious spring cleaning while wearing my Good Feet arch supports in my sandals, and before I knew it, I was on my feet for hours and was comfortable doing it. If you have spring cleaning on your to-do list, you can do it in comfort too. The Good Feet store system fits in your own shoes, so bring them when you come to one of several locations. Visit goodfeet.com to find one near you. Spring forward with the perfect arch support from the Good Feet store.
It's Mike Simpson here. If you are tired of waiting for the market to get better, you're not going to slow for home buying, and you're trying to time this, and you just want to leave now. Wait for the home sale again. So maybe places you can go to the first, like holding you back, or you want to downsize. That's the okay. Selling inherited property, do some cash quickly. Westwood Homes. Fast, reliable, all cash homes. Westwood Homes buys homes as is. No repairs, no commitment, no hassle. You can close in as little as 3 days. Or online. Tell them when you want to sell. Avoid competing with the inventory that's out there and demanding buyers and get that flowing fees as a sale. They're actively buying right now across Southern California. The offers are firm, no strings attached, no last-minute price drops like other cash buyers. No commissions, no hassle, and no dealing with the market as it stands right now, trying to terminate an estate contract for trust and transparency. 8+ on the BBB, 800-781-9600. It's 800-781-9600, 800-781-9600. The trusted home buyer in Southern California for more than 40 years. WestwoodHomes.com. KNX FM HD2, Los Angeles. This is Southern California's news. Among our top stories, an hours-long search for a wayward mountain lion in Santa Monica and a deal reached with Magic Mountain to protect local water quality. Thanks as always to Joe Gimon at the editor's desk. I'm Chris Stevens. Have a great weekend. Back to you again Monday. ABC News and Facts. Only on the KNX. Los Angeles, Southern California news. From ABC News. I'm Dave Matthews. The State Department says it's optimistic it can work things out with Kenya after the Canadian court has put a pause on the Trump administration's plans to open a second bed field hospital in the country for Americans exposed to the Ebola virus.
The African CDC has suggested Kenya's government was pressured into housing the center. Some experts also warning that a foreign facility is a strategic mistake, saying U.S. nationals impacted by the outbreak should be brought home. Jenny Kingston, ABC News, the State Department.
The federal judge who oversaw President Trump's lawsuit against the IRS is now demanding answers from the president's lawyers and the DOJ over whether their settlement that created a $1.8 billion anti-weaponization fund may have amounted to an effort to intentionally deceive her. This is Friday as judge temporarily blocked payments from that fund. ABC News legal contributor Tim Whaley.
This is going to stay with this lower court judge, and then when there's a final resolution, only then will the Trump administration have the ability to pursue it.
The privacy fire agreement that's been in place in Lebanon since mid-April has continued to attack Israeli soldiers in southern Lebanon. Fire projectiles in northern Israel.
Really not adding up to very much at all. The UN are reporting something in the region of 11 children inside Lebanon have been killed or wounded every single day through military action.
ABC's panel in Tel Aviv. Louisiana Friday enacted a new congressional map that could help Republicans gain one more seat in the House of Representatives. The new map eliminates one of the state's two black majority districts. Democratic Louisiana State Senator Lloyd Fletcher says the map will face new legal challenges.
Now we're going to end up right back and forth because this map is a racially gerrymandered map no matter how they try to spin it.
You're listening to ABC News.
Hitting trouble 2 on Saturday morning, May 30th. Clear skies in Southern California. We'll see some clouds and fog near the coast later this morning. Dry and warmer weather for the weekend. Clouds forming in the big area right now. Plenty of sunshine and warmer around Saturday and Sunday. Good morning, I'm Brian Gregory. Here's what's happening. The California primary is coming up on Tuesday. Heather Jordan has more on elections security.
Today, voters mark their ballots for congressional members using the newly drawn district maps under Prop 50. The race for governor is also getting pretty tight between the top candidates. The top two vote-getters, regardless of political affiliation, will stand to November. Election officials are planning on the possibility of increased voter turnout on Tuesday. They moved in as a register reporter in LA County and says they approach election day with 3 pillars.
Security, readiness, and resilience. And from a security standpoint, that means environmental security, operational security, and then also preparing our workforce, including the unemployed who are going to vote. That's the tools they need to make sure that they're going to be safe and also
tactic to do so. And so I do think that perhaps it's just a matter of moving out traditional voters, not maybe a disadvantage because it's not using the traditional campaign apparatus that we are used to seeing.
However, she says all lines remain on the former reality TV program.
But absolutely dominating the attention economy part of it. Right? I mean, we're not talking about the press. He seems to be saying in terms of the conversation when he does things like retweet horror videos that are made with AI, that are, our Batman themes or Star Wars themes. That gets people's attention. And the other thing that gets people's attention is rhetoric that we don't typically hear from politicians, particularly politicians in Los Angeles, the city that is Democratic. I think that what Brett has successfully been able to do is tap into what I do think are frustrations of the city. We know that Karen Bass as an incumbent is unpopular. Her favorability ratings have sunk as the voters last year. And he is giving voice to that.
But she feels Trump has faced little scrutiny in questioning of his policy.
He has to lay out his plans, but I think they are going to be very difficult to execute. I think that there's a lot of questions about the reality or if there's money to do that. It's not really has a lot of time to answer those questions so much because I think everybody is just so focused on Democrats running against him as Hamilton. Maybe a lot of really is trying to call attention to track and how he is closely more conservative voices, some folks very bad. He's really trying to emphasize that. Again, in the city of Democratic of Los Angeles, that is not necessarily the path to victory. There seems to mostly be ignoring him. I think that there is a sense that there's a mayor's chance that he would be the weaker person for her to run against in a matchup in the fall. I think that she's a little bit more concerned about running against the Democrats in November.
Turning to other news reporting, a first of its kind museum has just opened in San Francisco's Chinatown to showcase art from queer Chinese artists. Virginia Van
It's always easy to, have these careers, but it's difficult to have a little space to call these Christians and actually showcase their talent. That's great, but several volunteering to run the new Art Museum on Slave Street. It's open to the public by appointment only. But Ray says he hopes passersby will stop and take a look through the windows. If you do take a peek, you'll see the centerpiece exhibit, a photograph of two women in rainbow joined at the feet in a music headband. He is distributed on several channels of translucent white fabric lined up across the room. Here's curator Julie Quay. The story behind this is there are costume moves every translating from museum director Sang-Ji Chen. He tells me this opening is just the beginning. Our museum will start at the Beijing that will connect all the LGBTQ, especially Chinese-speaking communities together, as well as history from the past, what we can do now and the future.
Coming up after traffic and weather.
I think you did. In Napa, there's harvest maybe months away, but we are at a crucial part of this grape-growing season.
Right now, let's take a drive this morning with Tiffany Westcott.
Right here in Southern California, contending with construction delays on 405 northbound for the past. We'll be working in Huntington Beach on 405 southbound there. And seriously, that during the session on the 405 southbound the road work on that part of the 405 north on the Christopher Curve. And I thought you could slow down giving you that little open ramp here on the 21 southbound. With traffic, I'm Tiffany Westcott.
Otherwise, this morning we are looking at mostly blue skies in Southern California. We'll see some more clouds and fog, but also along the coast. Dry and warmer weather for the weekend. Sunny sunshine more days will be on Sunday and Monday. We'll see the 80s and low 90s in the valley with wind and fog. We've got clouds and fog this morning in the Bay Area. Going to clear out for sunshine by mid-morning with average temperature. Highs in the morning in the mid-upper 70s with 50s to low 70s by day and up to 50s. Memorial Day weekend, as we honor those who served and celebrate a season of Louisiana. One smart move can set the for everything ahead. Riding smarter at Galley Hyundai. Right now, during Galley Hyundai's Memorial Day event, you can lease a brand new 2026 Hyundai Elantra SE for just $99 a month. That's right, that's the fuel economy. Everything the right
you or your next part upgrade. These monsters deliver comfort and confidence without overspending. Integrity Hyundai is backed by America's best warranty, including a 10-year 100,000 mile powertrain warranty and Hyundai Insurance Program. So you can focus on what's next, not what you go wrong. Input Valley Hyundai, California's #1 Hyundai dealer. Visit Valley Hyundai, the top of 710 at Barnesville, or shop anytime at valleyhyundai.com. $99 per month, 24 months. 4,000 Hyundai Cash down, 4,000 miles per year, plus tax time provided. Or no credit to the dealer finance, no security deposit. More Hyundai dealer pays capable of benefits. Offer expires 5/31/2026.
I slept in a lot of different rooms, different beds, but really felt like my I started sleeping in a box chair, mostly in bed. And I never had much sleep because I always had to be ready for me. Life is crazy, you just have to let it go.
Today comes foundation partner is working to help find them a forever family and a permanent home of their own.
Now I have my own room with walls that tell my story. I love hanging out in there. I play dress up with my sisters and I sing and make meals. But the best part, knowing I'll always have a place to go and a family that loves and supports me.
If you have need in your home or your heart, see how you can help at DaveThomasFoundation.org.
I'm Brian Goebel. Right now is a very pivotal time for many wine grape growers. And as Megan Goldstein reports, the cold spring weather is not making it any easier.
The zone that we're in right now is called
Ailment markets that are overtaking winemaking snags, food, wine cellars, and Napa. It's what it sounds like when each berry on the vine begins to flower.
And when that flowering happens, hey, no, from this whole when you're out in the vineyard, but they're very picky. If it's rainy, if it's windy, if it's hot, if it's cold, hailing, basically they don't like anything except like 70 degrees and stuff.
That has not been our story in the month of May.
You know, last couple of weeks, you know, we had some pretty big wind drift. A little while ago, we had a little bit of rain when the flowers were happening. So what that does is the flowers are going to set. So you wind up with a bit of a reduced yield for sure. And also you can result in a little bit of variability in terms of ripening.
Which means in the process that winemakers and grape growers may have to get a little creative at the harvest year.
You know, for example, if you wind up with a reduced yield, that might lead us to change our strategy, let's say, in terms of like sun exposure. Maybe we don't want as much sun exposure, or maybe we'll hedge off, so cut off some of the young leaves that tend to produce a little bit more sugar.
Shepherding the grapes into the fall and keeping an eye on the forecast all of the day's work.
A mountain lion decided to pay a visit to a home in Santa Monica yesterday, and a Keeping Trail reports that six wildlife experts and police for almost 7 hours its corner and removed the big cat.
Just after 10 in the morning, the cat was spotted lying in the front yard of a home on 700 block of 14th Street, just north of Santa Avenue. Construction Street was shut down, and officers of state wildlife officials moved in just before 3 o'clock and hit the animal with a tranquilizer dart. The lion jumped a back fence and ran for several blocks up an alley down one residential street, with officers chasing it on foot. The cat finally took shelter in a yard on Euclid Street. Experts found the tranquilizer had anesthetized the cat. Biologists evaluated the animal's health before fitting it with a tracking collar. Generations to transport and release the lion back to the wilderness. But neighbors and media members of the scene are not notified by police or wildlife officials of the capture of the animal for more than 2 hours. The cat was removed and the street fully reopened after 7:30. In Santa Monica, I'm Ethan Matrio.
Fewer adults are smoking cigarettes. The smoking rate has dropped to all-time low. Government survey shows about 1 in 11 adults say they are current smokers. The preliminary findings from the CDC were posted online this week. In the mid-1960s, 82% of U.S. adults were smokers. The rate has been gradually dropping for decades, and last year it was 9%. Cigarette smoking is a risk factor for lung cancer, heart disease, and stroke, and has long been considered the leading cause of preventable death. Coming up after traffic and weather,
I'm David Welch in San Francisco, where a museum dedicated to the counterculture movement is celebrating its first birthday among some prestigious companies.
right now it's time for sports with Tim Hedrick.
Game 6 of the National Basketball Association's Western Conference Finals took place on Thursday night. The Oklahoma City Thunder entertained Seminole first. Thunder guard Jalen Williams returned from injury, but it wasn't enough to keep up with the Spurs'
first was gold 18 early and never gave that title up. Contributions from the starters as well as from their role players. In fact, all 15 members of the San Antonio roster got in the game that ended up being a 27-point victory. The Spurs win sets up one more game between themselves and the Thunder Saturday night in Oklahoma City. The winner will face the New York Knicks in the NBA Finals for a chance to be the association's champion. That's Sports Desk. Sam Fisher.
Time now for today's Spotlight on Tech, sponsored by Red Pocket Mobile.
Google Search is getting its first Super Bowl in 25 years. Alphabet announced that the Google Search Box will be powered by Gemini 3.5. The company's latest AI model, adding video generation and video editing capabilities to search. Google says Gemini usage has grown 700% in 2 years, with more than 900 million active users on the Gemini app compared to 400 million last year. I'm Jason Brooks.
Company Towel here with Red Box Smoke. You ever sign up for one of those too good to be true phone deals? 1 minute you're feeling great, then suddenly you're paying over $1,000 a year. Crazy, right? You know who else thinks that's crazy? Red Pocket Mobile. Right now with Red Pocket,
More than 50 customers signing the line can get our premium 5G plan for just $5 a month. That's only $60 a year. And choose from all three major 5G networks with one locked-in low price at redpocket.com. Redpocket.com. Attention. Have you racked up $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is notifying consumers about significant debt relief options currently being made available to help those with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of credit card debt for those who qualify. You don't need to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan, and you may only have to pay back a fraction of what you owe, even if you have bad credit. National Debt Relief has already reduced the credit card debt for more than 550,000 consumers. So don't wait. If you owe 10, 20, or even $100,000 in credit card debt, you can now take advantage of this financial debt relief as the cost of living continues to skyrocket. To check what debt reduction you may qualify for, call 800-358-6868. That's 800-358-6868. Again, 800-358-6868. It is traffic time again. We're going to start in Whittier. Anthony Lindstrom.
Road work in Whittier, and it's affecting right on the 605 north on Lake Lake there from Washington Boulevard and Eastern as you approach Whittier Boulevard. The 605 south, no focus. Things are very good as you make your way through Rose Hills and switching towards Santa Springs. If you are heading into downtown LA, it's an excellent ride for you. Flying north past the 710, no delays on 101 southbound from Hollywood City into downtown LA. And you know, with all the construction on parts of the 101 for downtown, you might can get some now. Same story on the 405 to the Dakota Pass. Same with express between the 101 heading on the 118. Let's take a look at your ride on the 5 north city into Santa Clarita. There is construction leading down just at the 14 connector ramp. So once you get to that, which excellent through the hill, over the big grade and into the central alley, where let me tell you, you go switch on 5 north and little heads up if you take a pass on southbound 99 in Madrid near Sunny Avenue. Beyond that, it's free all the way to Sacramento. Staying into the Bay Area, it's road work you've got to deal with in San Francisco. Westbound 80, slow down to that 4th Street ramp heading on 101. Northbound 101 brake lights at the Chavez heading on to Old Town 80. With traffic, I'm Tiffany Wistrell.
Mostly clear skies and Southern California this morning. We'll see some fog at most times. So, lots of sunshine later today. Warmer temperatures this weekend. Only days on Sunday and Monday. Time by the afternoon. High 70s inland, 70s daytime. Upper 50s at beaches. Even warmer on Sunday. Good morning at 12:20. I'm Brian Noble as San Francisco Dam is turning on and it's already on the world stage. As David Walsh reports, the Counterculture Museum in the East is marking its first birthday with a place on Times list of the greatest places in the world. The Counterculture Museum is a corner case from Thatcher, ground zero for the movement. The document Elsie is not just her partner, and like any mom and pop, she says the opening year saying nothing in the world. But it's been exciting, it's been heartbreaking, it's been rewarding, and it also included a spot on Time magazine list of the 100 greatest places in the world to visit in 2020, which is not bad for a museum that focuses on taking down
running to us to figure out what is it that has meaning for you, and then figure out a pathway to make positive change.
San Francisco Bay is also hosting what might be the world's only floating furry convention. Galactic camp is happening all weekend long at the USS Ford in Alameda.
Tracking paradox was furries just want to get together, expressions of like a kind of concept they want to talk about. Yeah, that's the first thing. You know, it's giant orange ears. I'm not exactly sure. Which is not, not galactic con, dance parties and DJ sets and vendors, but mostly about being around other people who like to dress up as a persona. Purchase to me like thousands and thousands of dollars. People think, oh, you need a purchase to come to this event. No, you don't. You can get pods, ales, and much more affordable pieces. Most of the vendors offering full custom pursuits. We actually start off with a 3D printed plastic CPU base, as you see here. We're going to go ahead and pattern it with duct tape and foam. You make the fur, you go ahead and cut that fur out, throw it together, and glue it on the base, salt some ice, and you're ready to go.
Airfield High School has canceled its freshman prom. It follows a viral video showing a Fairfield police officer instructing 16-year-old students during an incident on campus. District officials say the event was canceled and the road ticket schedule only 3 tickets sold. The school district and police department are conducting separate investigations on a shooting encounter which happened on May 19th. The officer involved has been reassigned following independent review. World's largest gathering of UFO experts remains this weekend in the Palm Springs area, and they're welcome to go and ask them questions. Todd Jackson says that is at the Renaissance Hotel and Resort in Indian Wells. Daniel Herrera is helping organize this event. He says they're expecting 2,000 people officially because of their curiosity over the recent release of one of the start. It's a baby step forward, but what's right now is really so far nothing is really earth-shattering. But the bigger picture that they're saying here, there's some remarkable videos and files. We don't know what these are. We even have to determine what these events are. Around 20 months ago, Mr. Flynn files with some data on happening in the future. However, more UFO files are expected to be released in the coming weeks. We're going to check the internet and
50 and older are not confident about retiring comfortably? The truth is, however, you can enjoy a comfortable retirement with as little as $500,000 in investable assets. I'm Anthony Chicago from Providence, Minneapolis, heading up in the Chicago law. You might recognize me from my radio show, podcast, or my appearances from CNBC, Fox Business, and JTL My News. I'd like to help you by giving you a complimentary copy of my Amazon #1 best-selling book, More Life Than Money. This is called How to Live Comfortably in Retirement. Avoid the $10,000 retirement mistakes and get income from your portfolio. Just visit morelifethanmoney.com and enter CNBC promo code to claim your free copy of More Life Than Money while supplies last. That's morelifethanmoney.com. Again, morelifethanmoney.com. Promo code. Tired of traffic? The Metro Defense away from Underwood Boulevard. Now with great new stuff connecting downtown LA to Beverly Hills. No parking, no stress. Metro Defense, the faster way across LA.
Adam, congratulations to United Negro College Fund, celebrating 80 years of empowering students, inspiring a new college-going generation, and transforming the future of our nation. For more information, go to UCF.org/. You have reports of a crash just south of downtown LA on the 110 southbound in Swanson, only temporarily blocked. Three-car crash, one of the vehicles allegedly on fire. We're working on getting these cars to right and shoulder. Right now, only temporarily blocked. Again, this is on the 110 southbound in Swanson. There's also a brand new crash on the 5 southbound near Imperial Highway. Vehicle here lost control, hit the center divide, and possibly struck another vehicle as the left lane is reported as blocked. And if you're using the 105 eastbound near Vermont Avenue, the crash here, two vehicles involved. Everything is in a construction zone area. That's where they move to. It's not really causing much in the way of slowdown. Let's take a picture ride on the 5 north. No access at all. None of this is construction zone getting into Santa Clarita. Things are great over the grade on 5 north, and things are here in Central Valley. In fact, 5 north looks good all the way to Sacramento and beyond. I got a good ride for you if you're traveling on Oakland, San Francisco, for traffic construction. It's 80 west. It's heavy right now from that first Fremont Folsom exit in stretches as you get on 101 south. Southbound 101 looks better. The more back up to the port. The northbound 101 is still heavy from City Chavez on the approach to good traffic. Good traffic.
However, mostly sunny this morning from north south fog developing along the coast. Dry and warmer weather for the weekend, plenty of sunshine. One of the things can be on Sunday and Monday. We'll see some 70s and LA, 80s in LA and Orange County. And then by Sunday, in the 80s to low 90s in the Valley, in the Inland Empire. The clouds and fog this week in the Bay Area should clear out the sunshine by mid-morning. Highs inland in the mid-upper 70s, 60s and low 70s by the Bay, and then upper 50s. At the beach, it's going to be mostly warmer on Tuesday.
Hello, good morning. At the height of my bachelor's diagnosed with kidney disease that was later discovered to be A4L1-mediated kidney disease, or AMKD. I am teaming up with the American Kidney Fund to share an important message with you about AMKD, which is a serious and progressive form of genetic kidney disease that may eventually lead to kidney failure.
I'm Mark Gordon, President and CEO of the American Kidney Fund. You may not know that kidney disease can have a genetic cause. AMKD occurs in people of African ancestry, and it's important to detect it early.
I encourage you to take charge of your health. Learn about the personal risk of kidney disease and talk to your doctor about getting better.
To learn more about AMKD and how to be able to aware, visit kidneyfund.org/AMKD.
Message from the American Kidney Fund. The 1231 is only halfway available. She was a star at the original blonde bombshell on Hollywood icon. Marilyn Monroe left us far too soon, but her legacy lives on. She would have been 100 years old on Monday, and she is the focus of a new exhibit at the Academy Museum in Los Angeles. Margaret Ferrero got a preview.
The Marilyn Monroe Hollywood icon So he's the one. He was really involved behind the scenes, from photography, from design, from publicity, from acting. He said the exhibits have been lovely to see the costumes that now more on screen, including, of course, the lucky dress from Gentleman to Brooklyn. Serrano says the pink dress wasn't the original design of the rhinestone black velvet number. We have an element of the shorts and the band that she was going to wear. There's a picture of her on the wall that you can see what it was. And essentially, there was a scandal about her nude photos coming out from 1949. She then took a vacation in 1952. And so Fox Studios panicked because this is their big star. He said they pivoted to a more conservative look. So we wanted to be able to tell that story because so much of this embodies Marilyn's career. Like her
Recent allegations against Cesar Chavez sparked a renewed focus on Filipino contributions to the U.S. farm workers movement. Lawyers in Hawaii are highlighting the first Filipino lawyer who organized plantation workers for equal pay at an 8-hour workday. For these organizing efforts, Pablo Manlaquit was implicated in the 1924 Honotepec massacre on the island of Hawaii, where 16 strikers and 4 police officers were killed. Manlaquit was imprisoned and deported. The Hawaii Filipino Lawyers Association is seeking to overturn his taking up about 1/10 of California's eligible voters. Most Gen Z residents are not expected to cast ballots in next week's primary elections. Researchers lose youth turnout. Traffic and weather together is coming up.
And now for today's Spotlight on Tech, sponsored by Red Pocket Mobile.
Google Search is getting its first overhaul in 25 years. Alphabet announced that the Google Search Box will be powered by Gemini 3.5, the company's latest AI model, adding video generation and video editing capabilities to search. Google says Gemini usage has grown 700% in 2 years, with more than 900 million active users on the Gemini app compared to 400 million last year. I'm Jason Brooks.
Traffic now here with Red Pocket Mobile. Every time more of it's too good to be true. Slow down. 1 minute you're feeling great, then suddenly you're paying over $1,000 a year. Crazy, right? You know who else thinks that's crazy? Red Pocket Mobile. Right now with Red Pocket, you need 50 customers actual line to get our premium 5G plan for $5 a month. That's only $60 a year. And choose through all 3 major 5G networks with one locked-in low price at redpocket.com. Redpocket.com.
I'm Mike Phillips with LA Car Guy. We know that LACarguy.com is the fastest way to view our entire inventory in one place. But we've made shopping online even better with our new LA Car Guy Express. Find the perfect car with the options you want, or even shop by payment. Then use the LA Car Guy Express store to create your trade-in and finalize your deal online. Save time on your next vehicle purchase. You leave our leadership by starting your deal online at LACarguy.com. Hey y'all, you know I'm in this here. I want to talk to you about something that's more important than ever. Taking care of the wildlife around us. Our planet holds some of the most amazing creatures you could ever imagine. From the biggest bears to the smallest birds and everything in between. But here's the truth. Many of these animals are endangered, habitats are disappearing, and we're losing species at a rate we've never seen before. If we want our kids and their kids to experience the magic of wildlife that we have today, it's on us to step it up and take action. You can make a difference. Learn more about wildlife conservation in your area and how you can help, whether it's supporting
There is a crash on the 110 southbound near Swanson, and all lanes are being reported as temporarily blocked. This part of the 110 southbound is south of downtown LA. There's a traffic jam at Snoopy for the city touch-up. There are alternates are surface streets really, and you just gotta be about the stoplight. So it's one or the other, I guess. No backup signs due to construction on the 105 and the 405. We're dropping somebody off at LAX. It's very good one. It's crowded and ride. Same story to SFO. That is after you turn out of the back traffic on northbound 101. San Mateo and Burlingame. That's out of the backup. There is construction on that part of 101 north of Peninsula. Clearing the Spring Jet and International Airport. And then you ride on northbound 101 construction in San Francisco, Great Lake here on the first stage of Congress, and West Street heading to 4th Street in the 101 South. The traffic on Newtown.
Looking outside in Southern California this morning, we'll see some fog and westbound snow along the coast later this morning. Lots of sunshine on tap for the weekend, warmer temperatures. Wednesday is going to be on Sunday and Monday. We hope to see some low 90s in the valleys and the Inland Empire. High 70s and 80s in LA and Orange County. Let's cool down by sun. The clouds and fog in the Bay Area this morning. Lots of blue sky and sunshine by the afternoon. High 70s inland. 60s, 70s around the day, up to 60s at the beach, and it's going to be warmer on Sunday.
You drive more at the Cincinnati dealership. Now get Memorial Day savings on their entire lineup of new Chevrolet, Cadillac, Buick, and GMC. Stop by and get their free freeway closed coverage that are by Garden Road and Buena Park, or shop online anytime at CincinnatiGM.com. For great Memorial Day savings, it's the Simpson family of dealerships. They're big enough to deal, small enough to care. Let's put a lot of different things. And I never had much luck because I always had to be running to me. Why is it things we just have to let them go?
Here are more than 100,000 children in foster care waiting to be adopted. The James Howard Foundation for Adoption is working to help find them a forever family and a permanent home of their own.
Now I have my own room with walls that tell my story. I love hanging out in here. I play dress up with my sisters and I sing and make karaoke. But the best part is knowing I'll always have a place to go and a family that loves and supports me.
If you have room in your home or your heart, we have to help at JamesHowardFoundation.org.
Being blind doesn't always look how others may think. Retinitis pigmentosa means to overwhelm my family.
It tries to cut you down. I know what you're trying for. Similar eyes can be seen.
Innovative research, educational resources, supportive community. The Foundation Fighting Blindness is leading the charge in finding treatments and cures for blinding diseases. Learn more at fightingblindness.org. A public service message from the Foundation Fighting Blindness.
People chased from their homes by last week's chemical leak scare in Garden Grove are now suing. Kevin Adams reports.
30 people from the law firm Steele & Eisen are suing DKN Aerospace for negligence, disrupting their lives, and instilling fear after a pressurized tank filled with a toxic chemical started to heat up and threatened to blow.
Having three system failures, you know, if one fails, that's much simple. Two fail, okay, this thing's going to blow up and obliterate my parents, childhood home, my childhood home. It's just not right.
Patty DeBobby is one of the plaintiffs. Says his father even sealed his bedroom door shut with tape to keep the toxic fumes out as the tank exploded. Attorney Todd Still says the company had 9 violations over the years for safety.
So it's not a surprise that something went wrong in the safety officer and the safety protocol that allowed the refrigeration system that kept the chemical stable doesn't collapse.
DeBobby says he wants his lawsuit to bring change.
I want them to come forward, say they did a mistake, but not only that, I want all the other companies there regulate and have more regulations and policies in place for this.
DKN did issue an apology for displacing tens of thousands of families. The company is a major supplier of jet engines and other components for commercial and military planes. In Seal Beach, I'm Karen Evans.
The chemical tank failure at a paper mill in Washington State this past week has struck at the heart of a historic mill town. Longview was founded by a timber baron about a century ago, and generations of families have worked the local mills. On Tuesday morning, a tank containing more than 500,000 gallons of a highly destructive chemical mixture used in paper manufacturing collapsed. It is one of the deadliest U.S. workplace accidents in recent decades. 11 people died, including 2 whose bodies have yet to be recovered.
Federal guidelines have nearly doubled the number of Americans eligible for life insurance. Insurance companies are required to cover these risks for those ages 50 to 80 who currently smoke or use them. Along with new treatments, lung cancer save lives. If you are 50 to 80 years old, you smoke or use them. Talk to your doctor about lung cancer screening. For more information and to find the screening center near you, visit hcr.org/MyLPS. That's hcr.org/MyLPS.
Have you tried Ozempic, Wegovy, or Mounjaro but still feel stuck? Many cases move some weight on injections, only to plateau while still struggling with obesity, sleep apnea, reflux, diabetes, or joint pain. Plus, monthly medication costs add up, and many people regain weight after stopping treatment. West Medical Bariatric Surgery might just provide the long-term solution you've been looking for. Schedule your free consultation today by calling 1-800-WEST-MED.
Coming up after traffic and weather.
I'm Shannon Golden with our news check out of the state. First, we make it much easier to monitor high-risk pregnancies in real time.
Right now it's time for sports with Sam Cooper. The National Basketball Association contains the track lottery system. The NBA's history includes records ever seen for the lottery by two top six. But this past season, the NBA fell to nearly 8 to 10 teams. Shocking. The lottery odds down the stretch of the season. Audio courtesy of ESPN. In response, the NBA implemented a new system that for the next 3 years will be better lottery odds seem to finish with a 4-12 record than those that finish with the first 3. Not everyone seems taking this as a big issue, though. Like longtime sports broadcaster Colin Cowper, 9 teams were willing to kind of prove their culture. It was 9 to play. Next year's a terrible draft, so we don't tank. Audio courtesy of the Club 520 podcast. Changes to the draft lottery need to be implemented strongly next season. That's what Sports says. Same citrus, termite dropping, discarded weeds, wood damage. All signs of an active termite infestation. Avoid costly damage. Call Pacific Coast Termite. They come with a free rental inspection, so you know what's going on. If you need treatment, Pacific Coast Termite uses chlorine oil and ultraset. No thinning, no move out, no food in the gas. You need the kids at best and stay home while they work. Call now for a 10% discount on termite services with a free 2-year warranty. Take advantage of 90-day famous gas Friday sale on approved credit. Any more Pacific. No food, no move out, treatment. All these more Pacific from Pacific Coast Termite. Research is required. Being offered a puny settlement. It's a joke. That's up. It's
hotspots to be aware of, including the topic that I'm looking at on northbound Gator. Right here from Washington to Whittier Boulevard, this road work is kind of a constant. If you live in the area, you're probably used to it by now. Right on the 101 here, all the way into the Bay Area. Trail and then right away on northbound 101, traffic here to Burlington James to that road work. Construction in San Francisco on northbound 101 with a bit of a backup from Cesar Chavez here on eastbound 80 and west 80 slow from the first north Fulton exit heading on to southbound 101 again road work to Full Creek. And while there is construction on 680 in San Ramon and on 580 in Castro Valley, I don't see any slowdowns there. Just, slow set of cones up, like they say. Traffic, I'm Tiffany Wittstrom.
We've got a really nice weekend on the way in Southern California and the Bay Area. Here in the Southland this morning, some fog, low clouds developing along the coast. Lots of sunshine, warmer temperatures this weekend. The warmest days are going to be on Sunday and Monday. We could see some low 90s in the valleys and the Inland Empire. Clouds and fog in the Bay Area this morning. Lots of blue skies, sunshine by the afternoon. Highs 70s inland, 60s and 70s stateside. Upper 50s at the beaches.
I'm around good morning. At the height of my basketball career, I was diagnosed with kidney disease that was later discovered to be ApoL1-mediated kidney disease, or ASKD. I am teaming up with the American Kidney Fund to share an important message with you about AMKD, which is a serious and progressive form of genetic kidney disease and may eventually lead to kidney failure.
I'm Mark Burton, President and CEO of the American Kidney Fund. You may not know that kidney disease can have a genetic cause. ASKD occurs in people of African ancestry, and it's important to detect it early.
I encourage you to take charge of your health. Learn about your personal risk of developing kidney disease and talk to your doctor about getting tested.
To learn more about ASKD and how to be ApoL1 aware, visit kidneyfund.org/ASKD.
A message from the American Kidney Fund.
Just hearing the word IRS can make people break out in a cold sweat. No one wants to deal with the IRS, and now you don't have to. The good news is Legal Tax Defense has been successfully negotiating with the IRS for more than 15 years. It doesn't matter how much you owe, whether it's $5,000 or $5 million. You deserve the best in business on your side. That's Legal Tax Defense. Even if you're working for someone else or just want a second opinion, there is no cost or obligation to call. They can prevent murder, meaning waive bonuses, even file back taxes. And the best news about Legal Tax Defense, they won't take your case unless they know they will reduce or eliminate your tax debt. Call Legal Tax Defense right now for a free no-risk consultation. 800-323-8922. 800-323-8922. You have nothing to lose, but everything to gain. 800-323-8922.
It is 12:52. Good morning, I'm Brian Goble. Stanford University researchers are working on new technology that would change how doctors and pregnant patients monitor high-risk pregnancy. Ken Rubin sat down with them to find out more.
The senior author study saying what is going to be selected as the most vital task.
No one needs to buy all the at home.
The senior author study saying you and his team raise what response to fetus and umbilical cords that are the most vital task.
They then get something in the throat and the baby may have oxygen
Remember to help doctors monitor and hopefully prevent those issues you and his team, including conceptual color from our cars.
Technology that has worked 50 years ago, these handheld ultrasound devices that were changing the form factor into a small stretchable device that could be applied.
And born during the third trimester. It's a wired device now, but they're prototyping for wireless version. You would hope that this will help improve access to the text in healthcare deserts.
To
life jacket and knowing CPR. I'm Maggie Schaefer.
Traffic out here with red pockets. Never sign up for too good to be true phone deals. 1 minute you're feeling great, then suddenly you're paying over $1,000 a year. Crazy, right? You know who else thinks that's crazy? Red Pocket Mobile. Right now with Red Pocket, new and existing customers add combined can get our premium 5G plan for just $5 a month. That's only $60 a year. And choose from all three major 5G networks with one locked-in low price at redpocket.com. Redpocket.com.
Hi, I'm Mike Paul from LA Cars. We're starting out at LACars.com. That's just the search for dealerships for your car. But we also have hundreds of pre-owned and certified pre-owned vehicles available for every lifestyle and budget. Customize your search by make, mileage, or even monthly payments. Whether you're looking for an SUV, truck, hybrid, or an EV, LACarGuy.com is the perfect place to find your new car.
It's RSV season. Is your baby protected? RSV is the #1 cause of hospitalization in all ages. Protect your baby from severe RSV with an immunization. A vaccine during pregnancy or preventive antibodies is now available. Help prevent RSV before it happens. Learn more by visiting lung.org/RSV.
Let's see the final traffic check for the hour.
As always, in Southern California, there's construction causing slowdowns on the 605 northbound Whittier from Slauson getting to Whittier Boulevard. That's where you're going to those brake lights. Also, south of downtown LA, a crash on the 110 southbound traffic heavy from Vernon. As the backup begins from Vernon and they clear up once you pass Slauson. You need to get diverted off at Vernon. That was a big flag check. I am still looking at some slowdowns in parts of Anaheim. There's construction on the 91 westbound, brake lights there, from the 65, getting onto the 57. And while there is quite a bit of road work on the 5 at the 91, Buena Park area, I don't see any more slowdowns not associated with that. Then the 405 northbound, slow traffic from the 73, stretches out of Westminster as you make your way toward Huntington Beach. Things look great beyond that on the 405, even through the Sepulveda Pass, where I know there's a lot of road work happening north of Spaghetti. Getting into the Bay Area, things look pretty good too. The construction in San Francisco still causing headaches on southbound, on northbound 101. Brake lights there beginning at Chavez, Fearing, just before you get onto 80 East, and westbound 80 heavy from 4th Street onto 101 South. Golden Gate Bridge, there is construction, but no more backups associated with it. Traffic's just so light at this point. With traffic, Tiffany with Trump.
Hotel weather today this morning, northbound fog developing along the coast. Dry and warmer weather for the weekend, plenty of sunshine. Today is going to be on Sunday and Monday. Clouds and fog in the Bay Area this morning. We're going to see lots of sunshine and blue sky by the afternoon. Warmer temperatures, some low 90s in the Bay Area by Monday. This is Los Angeles, Southern California News. This is CNN News. From ABC News. There was a meeting in the Situation Room Friday, but when it was over, President Trump had no announcement about a possible deal with Iran.
President Trump laying out his demands, saying Iran must agree to reopen the Strait of Hormuz, pledge never to develop a nuclear weapon, and allow the U.S. to remove Iran's highly enriched uranium. But Iran says their nuclear program, the key issue at the center of this conflict, is not a part of these negotiations. Iran also insisting the U.S. release $12 billion in frozen Iranian assets. But the president is saying no money will be exchanged until further notice.
ABC's Mary Bruce. President Trump's so-called weaponization fund blocked by a federal judge Friday. ABC News legal contributor Tim Whaley.
This is going to stay with this lower court judge, and then when there's a final resolution, only then will the Trump administration have the ability to appeal.
And another federal judge has ordered that the president may be removed from the Kennedy Center in Washington, D.C. ABC's Catherine Calder.
The judge ruled that China needs to come down within 2 weeks. It is what it means for President Trump. We obviously will see what he says about this and whether he will appeal this. This is one of the many projects that Trump has in the works or has at least any
Jeff Bezos' commercial space company Blue Origin is warning folks in Florida don't trust any of the debris from a catastrophic explosion that incinerated one of the largest rockets that it had during an engine test on Thursday. No injuries were reported after the company's New Glenn rocket exploded into a massive fireball. Former NASA astronaut Susan Kilray.
This is the rocket that is supposed to take equipment to the moon in the not too distant future, and then also land landers on the moon with people eventually.
You're listening to ABC News.
It is 1:02 on Saturday morning, May 30th. Clear skies in Southern California with dry and warmer weather on the way. Clouds and fog in the Bay Area right now. Plenty of sunshine, warmer temperatures for the weekend. Good morning, I'm Brian Goble. Here's what's happening. California primaries coming up on Tuesday. Head to Jordan now with more on election security.
Voters will mark their ballots for congressional members into the newly drawn district map under Prop 60. The race for governor is also getting pretty tight between the top candidates. The top senators, regardless of political affiliation, will advance to November. Election officials are planning on the possibility of increased voter turnout on Tuesday. In Logan, the Georgia Star reporter of LA County says they approach election day with 3 pillars.
Security, readiness, and resilience. And from a security standpoint, that means environmental security, operational security, and then also preparing our workforce, including the community county employees who work at our vote centers with the tools they need to make sure that they're going to be safe, but also the voting experience is going to be safe.
I'm Heather Jordan.
Logan says 645 voting centers are open as of today in LA County. Absentee voting is an option as well. You can drop off ballots at more than 400 ballot box locations. Several polls are providing some last-minute insight into the race for governor. The Public Policy Institute of California this week showed Democrat Javier Becerra leading the pack by 23%. About 1,000 people will vote for that. Republican Steve Hilton was in second place at 20%. Meanwhile, a second poll released yesterday by the Institute of Governmental Studies in UC Berkeley shows Becerra with a slightly larger edge over Hilton, 25 to 21%. Well, it's also coming down to the wire in the area mayor's race. The latest poll shows the top 3 candidates, Karen Bass, Nikki Haley, are locked in a tight battle to make the top 2 and qualify for runoff. Politico, California Bureau Chief Melanie Mason was based in L.A. She says a lot is going to depend on the Get Out the Vote effort by the 3 campaigns.
Democrats up and down the state, including in Los Angeles, have not been turning in their ballots. They've been holding on to it because they're still puzzling through these races, including the LA mayor's race. And so I do think that for Mayor Bass and for Councilmember Rahman, that is a pool of votes that are going to be more likely to be available to them. It's just a matter of reaching those voters and getting them to turn those ballots in. So I think the traditional campaign apparatus is very important. You know, the door knockers and the texts and the mailers, all the things that we associate with a normal political campaign. Versus that obviously is not running a normal political campaign. It was very much driven through online buzz and kind of this national spectacle. And I do think that we've seen a higher rate of return from Republican voters. I think that people who are eager to vote for Democrats probably have already sent in their ballots. It seems like those staffers are very enthusiastic to do so. And so I do think that perhaps it's a matter of weeding out these occasional voters, not maybe a candidate who's not using sort of the traditional campaign apparatus that we are used to.
However, she says all eyes remain on the former reality TV star.
Brad, absolutely dominant the attention economy part of campaigns, right? I mean, we're all talking about Chester Pratt. He seems to be setting the terms of the conversation when he does things like retweet supporters' videos that are made with AI, that are, you know, are Batman themed or Star Wars themed. I mean, that gets people's attention. And the other thing that gets people's attention is rhetoric that we don't typically hear from politicians, particularly politicians in Los Angeles. This video that is Democratic. I think that what Pratt has successfully been able to do is tap into what I do think are frustrations in the community. We know that Mayor Bass as an incumbent is unpopular. Her favorability rating has sunk ever since the fires last year, and he is giving voice to that.
Industrial Pratt has faced little scrutiny in questioning of his policies. from queer Chinese artists. Virginia Dance was at the museum's opening.
It's always easy to, happy parade, but it's difficult to actually have a physical space to host parties. Queer creative actually showcases talent. That's great. One of several volunteering to run the new Out Museum on Clay Street. It'll be open to the public by appointment only. But Grace says she hopes passerby will stop and take a look through the windows. If you do take a peek, you'll see the centerpiece exhibit, a photograph of two women in a rainbow joined at the feet in a mutual headstand. The image is printed on several panels of translucent white fabric lined up across the room. Here's curator Julie Quay. The story behind this is they are forced to move out there because they are elections. So the assistant, Esther Day, is translating for museum director Sanji Chen. He tells me this opening is just the beginning. Our museum will start at Meta that will connect all the LGBTQ, especially Chinese-speaking communities together, as well as history from the past, what we can do now, and the future.
Coming up after traffic and weather.
Where the harvest may be months away, but we are in a crucial part of grape growing season.
Right now, 108, we want to check your drive this morning with Vicky Whitford.
Things looking pretty good if you're making your way on the 5 south from the Great construction zone for Thomas. So there's some stuff happening because of the road work being here. On the 605 north, from Washington and then to on the Church Whittier Boulevard. And also monitoring a crash just south of downtown LA. It's on the 110 south side of Boston Avenue. Couple vehicles involved. Once we get all lanes blocked, looks like you've started to reopen some of those lanes, and it's been better. And we're going to be very good side for you on the 105, even with the road work between the 405 and the 110. Things on 110 south of the 105 is very good too. No backups as you make your way to San Pedro. They are doing ongoing construction on the Vincent Thomas Bridge westbound. That's down again for the overnight hours. If you are using the 101 north to get out of LA and into the Bay Area, things look great the whole way to Central Coast. I've got no backups once you get into San Jose. Zero backups on 101 northbound until you get into Burlingame, where it's construction that's asking to slow that's slowing you down to the Bay. There's also road work in San Francisco, taking up lanes and slowing it down on 80 westbound from that same Folsom exit, getting on 101 south, and northbound 101 MDS is the Chavez, getting to the hospital curve. With traffic, I'm Tiffany with Trump.
Look at the mostly clear skies in Southern California this morning. We'll see some fog and low clouds develop along the coast. Sunshine, warmer temperatures this weekend. Warm days will come on Sunday and Monday. We'll see some low 90s in the valley. Clouds and fog in the Bay Area this morning. Lots of sunshine by the afternoon. 70s for the highs inland. 60s and 70s bayside up for 50s at beaches. Also warmer on Sunday, maybe up for 80s inland. And then by Monday, some inland locations could hit 90s.
I was standing in line at the grocery store when a little boy looked at me and said, "Mommy, what's that lady's crayon marks on her leg?" He was talking about my varicose veins, and I was mortified. Them were coming. I knew I couldn't keep hiding them, so I called West Medical. They were kind, understanding, and their treatments are quick, effective, and have little to no downtime. After all, most PPO insurance plans are accepted. Call 1-800-WEST-MED for your free, no obligation consultation, or visit westmedical.com.
Are you concerned about retirement? You're not alone. Did you know that 42% of workers age 50 and older are not confident about retiring comfortably? The truth is, you can enjoy a comfortable retirement with as little as $500,000 in investable assets. I'm Anthony Sikora from Providence and Young, and Anthony Sikora. You might recognize me from my radio show, podcast, or my appearances on CNBC, Fox Business, and KCAL 9 News. I'd like to help you continue with complimentary copies like Amazon #1 best-selling book, More Life Than Money. You'll discover how to live comfortably in retirement, avoid the 10 most common retirement mistakes, and get income from your portfolio without worrying about running out of money. Plus, you'll learn how to maximize Social Security benefits and to navigate required minimum distributions without a 25% penalty. Just visit morelifethanmoneybooks.com and enter TANX in the promo code to claim your free copy of More Life Than Money while supplies last. That's morelifethanmoneybooks.com. Again, morelifethanmoneybooks.com. Promo code KTANX.
If you expect more, use
speed report Baltic spring weather is not making it any easier.
The zone that we're in right now is helpful.
Hampton Market Cesaro will overtake the winemaking at Stag Food Wine Cellar de Nava. It's out like Winkies staring on the vine in the clouds.
And when that flowering happens, it smells wonderful when you're out in the vineyard, but they're very hidden. It's rainy, windy, hot, cold, hailing. Basically, they don't like anything except like 70 degrees and stuff.
That has not been our story for the month of May.
You know, the past couple weeks, we've had some pretty big wind events. A little while ago, we had a rain, and the flowers were happening. So what that does, the flowers won't set. So you wind up with a bit of a reduced yield for sure. And also you can result in a little bit of variability in terms of pricing.
It means that I said that winemakers and grape growers may have to get a little creative as the harvest year.
You know, for example, if you wind up with a reduced yield, that might lead us to change our strategy, let's say, in terms of like sun exposure. Maybe we don't want as much sun exposure. Or maybe we'll hedge off and cut off those young leaves that tend to produce a little bit more sugar.
Separating the grapes in the fall and keeping an eye on the forecast over the day's work.
A mountain lion decided to pay a visit to a home in Santa Monica yesterday as Pete the trio was taken to wildlife experts and police almost 7 hours to corner and remove the big cat.
Just after 10 in the morning, the cat was spotted rounding the front yard of a home at the 700 block of 14th Street, just north of Montana Avenue. The stretch of the street was shut down, and officers from state wildlife officials moved in just before 3 o'clock and hit the animal with a tranquilizer dart. The lion jumped the back fence and ran for several blocks in an alley and off residential street with officers chasing it on foot. The cat finally sheltered in the yard of the home on Euclid Street. Experts found the tranquilizer had anesthetized the cat. Biologists evaluated the animal's health, considering it was a tracking color, making arrangements to transport and release the lion back into the wilderness. The neighbors and media members of the scene were now notified by police and wildlife officials of the capture of the animal for more than 2 hours. The cat was removed from the street fully reopened just after 7:30. In Santa Monica, I'm Pete the trio.
Fewer adults are smoking cigarettes. The smoking rate dropped to an all-time low last year. The government survey shows about 1 in 11 adults said they were current smokers. Some preliminary findings were released by the CDC this week. And in 1960, 42% of U.S. adults were smokers. The rate has been gradually dropping for decades, and last year it was at 9%. Cigarette smoking is a risk factor for lung cancer, heart disease, and stroke, and is long been considered the leading cause of preventable death. Coming up after Traffic and Weather, I'm Jason Texas, where a museum is dedicated to the counterculture movement is celebrating its first birthday among some prestigious companies. Find out Traffic Association's Western Conference Finals took place on Thursday night between the Oklahoma City Thunder and the San Antonio Spurs. Thunder guard Jalen Williams returned from injury, but it wasn't enough to keep up with the Spurs superstar, Victor Wembanyama. Audio courtesy of NBC Sports. The Spurs took control of this game early and navigated that getting contributions from their starters as well as from their role players. In fact, all 15 members of the San Antonio roster got in the game and ended up being a 27-point victory. The Spurs win sets up one more game between themselves and the Thunder Saturday night. Thunder will face the New York Knicks in the NBA Finals for a chance to be the association's champion. At the Sports Desk, Sam Titter.
Now for today's spotlight on health trends, from design at Pocket Mobile. For adults over the age of 65, a hip fracture can be more deadly than cancer. New research from Lamar University Internet finds that 30% of patients die within the first year of a brain. Scientists say mobility after the injury drastically increases the risk of blood clots, heart failure, and infection. Women are more likely to suffer a hip fracture, but fewer than non-sportive men survive 5 years after the injury. I'm Marty Schaefer.
Recycle lines that are premium. $5 a month.
extra stuff for your family, now you want to be the boss. Success is getting your foot in the door. Now you want to keep the next step. Success is different for everyone. And university values over campus help you reach your goals. There's never been a better time to get started than with USAC. No application fee if you apply on June 1st. An accredited state university, UMCC has been transforming lives for over 75 years. With more than 135 undergraduate and graduate degrees and certificates, online and hybrid courses, personalized support, clients, the resources, and lifetime career services. Achieving your dreams is more possible than ever before. Choose the programs for your career goals and get started on your next step. No application fee if you apply on June 1st. Learn more at umdc.edu. That's umdc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by staff.
Starting in Southern California, right to LA, we got a quick crash on the 10th East, just before Vermont Avenue, back up against near Western. There are quite a few lanes blocked due to the multiple car accident. And also seeing still slow traffic on the 605 northbound from Whittier, that final construction causing delays, and a brand new accident on 710 southbound at Valley Boulevard. Parts off 710 southbound Valley Boulevard. But it does look like the apartment is on the way to escape. Somebody was hurt. There is road work, and it may slow you down just a little bit on the 91 westbound Santa Line from 55 to the 57, and construction along parts of the 5 at the 91 in the Wayne Park area. Let's take a look at the ride in the area. First, as expected, it's way off 5 through the Central Valley. Though I am getting reports of a crash on 80 westbound. This is just as you get into the layout. The crash on 80 westbound near the 100 Mill Rec area, so right on top of that hill there, clearing up where you get on 37. I've also seen construction on parts of 80 and facilities to be back up there. And ongoing construction in San Francisco on parts of 80 and 101 and causing delays off and on through the early morning. With traffic, that's what you would from.
Mostly clear in Southern California this morning. Lots of sunshine, warmer temperatures for the weekend. The warmest days are going to be on Sunday and Monday. We're expecting 80s, the low 90s in the valleys of the Inland Empire. 70s, 80s in LA and Orange County. It's not cool down by Friday. Some clouds and fog in the Bay Area this morning. Lots of blue skies sometime by the afternoon with warmer temperatures. Good morning, it's 1:20. I'm Brian Goebel. Our Twin System Museum is turning one, and it's already on the world stage. The David Walsh reports the Counterculture Museum and Peace is marking its first birthday with a place on Times Square of the greatest places in the world.
The Counterculture Museum sits at the corner of 18th Access, ground zero for the movement. Del Camino runs it with her partner, and like any mom and pop, she says the opening has been nothing but a world.
It's been exciting, it's been eye-nourishing, it's been rewarding, and everything.
We also included a spot on Time Magazine's list of the 100 greatest places in the world to visit in 2026, which is not bad for a museum that focuses on taking down the man.
It's unexpected. It's really it's like, okay, maybe we're going to do something right.
For Camino, the recognition matters, but it's not the point. The museum exists to connect the movement of the 1960s to the present. She says the lesson is simple.
You can wind up and figure out what is it that has meaning for you, and then figure out a pathway to make positive change.
The world's largest gathering of UFO experts is being held at the end of the Palm Springs area, and you're welcome to go and ask them questions. Contact in the desert is at the Renaissance Hotel and Resort in Indian Wells. Daniel Ferrari is helping organize the event. He says they're expecting a few thousand people, especially because of the curiosity over the recent release of one secret government document on UFOs.
I know, are like, okay, this is a start. It's a baby step forward. But what the printout has released so far, nothing is really earth-shattering. But the bigger picture is that they're saying, here's some remarkable videos and files. We don't know what these are. We leave it up to you, the public. to determine what these events are.
Larry says he'd like the government to explain the fouls, but doesn't think that's going to happen in the near future. But a bipartisan group of congressional lawmakers is planning to convene on the steps of the U.S. Capitol next month to ask for the release of specific files and for the passage of UFO disclosure legislation. Among them will be whistleblower David Bruce. He's a highly credentialed former intelligence officer who testified before Congress that information about UFOs and non-human intelligence was being illegally hidden from the legislative branch. The Department of Defense has released 2 rounds of UFO files this year, which many disclosure advocates say does not go far enough. If you're attending a graduation this season, you'll likely see some of those massive, colorful paper rings. Virginia Van Dance visited a San Francisco shop to find out what goes into making them.
Inside Creations, a wall of rainbow is hundreds of graduation plans, race ribbons and school colors and dollar bills woven into flowers.
We have to raise the ribbons. We have to get the basic colors ready first.
Virginia Ho owns the shop. She tells me her lay business boomed during the pandemic when using paper became more practical than real flowers.
During pandemic, there's no graduation. So people want to send something as a gift to everyone forward.
So meetings in small supporters, high school and college graduations these past few weeks. The best part about this line of work? Proud parents as customers.
A lot of the college graduates could see their parents is really proud of their children's achievements.
We're going to take the money wash and
Memorial Day weekend, we are ready to serve and celebrate a season of new beginnings. One smart move and just a film on everything ahead. Drive smarter at Downey Hyundai. Right now, during Downey Hyundai's Memorial Day event, you can lease a brand new 2026 Hyundai Elantra SE for just $99 a month. That's right, impress the fuel economy and everyday reliability, all wrapped into a payment that actually makes sense. Whether it's your first car, your daily commute, or your next smart upgrade, the Elantra delivers comfort and confidence without overspending. And every new Hyundai is backed by America's best warranty, including a 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty and Hyundai Insurance Program, so you can focus on what's next, not what could go wrong. It's why Downey Hyundai, California's #1 Hyundai dealer. Downey Hyundai, just off of 710 at Firestone, or shop anytime at DowneyHyundai.com. $99 per month for 24 months, $4,999 down, 4,000 miles per year, for tax and title. No security deposit. #1 Hyundai dealer based on April 2023. Offer starts 5/31/2026.
The Bloomberg Money Minute. Drivers have been paying a lot more to gas pumps since the war against Iran started. How much more? Call for hours. Check it out. The ICCars.com studied the driving patterns of over 2 million vehicles to see how much more owners of certain autos are paying for fuel on an annualized basis, and the results are staggering. $706 for the most expensive increase, gasoline cars, pure gasoline, and for EVs and hybrids, an $11 increase for the electric cars, with hybrids and plug-in hybrids, obviously between those two numbers. Owners of large SUVs dominate the high end of that list, with some expected to pay $1,500 more on a yearly basis. Broward says paying just $11 more to power up your EV may make those of us who are hesitant about owning one think again. It just makes you reevaluate and think maybe the EV lifestyle will work for me, and saving on gas right now would work for everyone. Tom Busby, Bloomberg Radio. Hey y'all, Eli Winters here. I want to talk to you about something that's more important than ever: taking care of the wildlife around us. Our planet is home to some of the most amazing creatures you could ever imagine. From the biggest bears to the smallest birds and everything in between. But here's the truth. Many of these animals are endangered, others start to disappear, and we're losing species at a rate we've never seen before. If we want our kids and their kids to experience the magic of wildlife that we have today, it's on us to step it up and take action. You can make a difference. Learn more about wildlife conservation in your area and how you can help. Whether it's supporting local wildlife refuges, reducing pollution, or simply taking a little time to appreciate the wild beauty around us, it all counts. This is Eli Winters. Let's make sure our wildlife is around for generations to come. Y'all take care of the earth and it'll take care of us. This message is courtesy of the United States Air Force.
I should know the answer, but with close disease of ulcerative colitis, answers don't come easy. symptoms and risks of their own. A friend told me about the Crohn's and Colitis Foundation, and they helped me find a specialist. We talked through the pros and cons and landed on a new treatment. I feel like the guy with answers again. So wait, make sure you have the latest info and the best plan for you. Spill Your Guts. Learn more at spillyourguts.org.
Aging well means staying healthy, active, and independent. To age well, we need to take care of our bones. 10 million Americans have osteoporosis, a hereditary disease that makes bones weak and more likely to break. Thankfully, we can all take simple steps to improve our bone health at any age. Eat a healthy diet that is rich in calcium and vitamin D. Get regular weight-bearing exercise, which means on our feet. Get bone health tips at passthegoodbonehealth.org.
All right, let's hit the roads again with Tiffany Whitstrom.
First of all, in Southern California, we're still monitoring some traffic because of construction. This is on the 605 as you make your way northbound through Whittier. The backup between this much of Washington clears up as you make your way past Whittier Boulevard. So again, it's not as bad as it was, that's for sure. There's also a lot of road work taking up lanes on parts of the 60. The 71 at the 60 in Pomona. No big backup there either, things moving quite well. Watching a crash on a 10 eastbound at Vermont Street. The backup there begins near Western Avenue. And if you're making your way into the Bay Area, whether you're using the 5 or the 99, things look really good all the way into Tracy to the Modesto area. The construction delay you need to worry about is on northbound 101 on the peninsula. Northbound 101 slow from Burlingame stretches toward Millbrae. Clearing before you get to SFO, and there's no reason to detour around it. It's probably not all that bad of a backup at all. With traffic, I'm Tiffany Whitstrom.
Looking at clear skies in Southern California this morning, we'll see a little fog and low clouds along the coast. Not a lot. Lots of sunshine with warmer temperatures this weekend. The warmest days are going to be with us on Sunday and Monday. We're expecting 80 to low 90s in the valleys and the Inland Empire on Sunday and Monday. Some clouds and fog in the Bay Area this morning. Lots of blue sky and sunshine by the afternoon. High 70s and low 60s and 70s dayside. Upper 50s at the beaches.
For the longest time, it was hard for me to even get out of the house. My flesh was got by Meridian. That's when I made the call. With my doctor's help, I was diagnosed with anxiety. Now I'm finding better ways to cope. Sure, some days are better than others. But the whole thing about getting out of the house, that's not really an issue anymore. Mental health care works when you make the call.
We want to do for you at mentalhealthcareworks.org. A message from the American Psychiatric Association Foundation.
When I had the injury, I realized that my home was not working for me and that it was time to act now. Insurance is really giving me my life back. It's not just about a home, it's about creating a family and a community that can stick with you for a life. Homes for Life Group builds and donates specially adapted custom homes nationwide for severely injured post 9/11 veterans and enable them to rebuild their lives. Join our mission at hfocusa.org.
Friday, President Trump had no announcement about a possible deal with Iran.
President Trump laying out his demands, saying Iran must agree to reopen the Strait of Hormuz, pledge never to develop a nuclear weapon, and allow the U.S. to remove Iran's highly enriched uranium. But Iran says their nuclear program, the key issue at the center of this conflict, is not a part of these negotiations.
Things very brief. President Trump's company has no interest in renovating the Kennedy Center. This after a federal judge halted plans to renovate the center and ordered that the president's name be removed permanently. An unruly passenger forcing a United Airlines flight from Chicago to Minneapolis to divert to Madison, Wisconsin Friday night. Air traffic control reporting mentioning a potential hijack. Law enforcement was waiting. United says the flight landed safely and no injuries were reported. This is ABC News.
It's 1:31. Good morning. I'm Brian Goebel. She was a starlet, the original blonde bombshell, a Hollywood icon. Marilyn Monroe left us far too soon, but her legacy lives on. She would have been 100 years old on Monday. And now she's the focus of a new exhibit at the Academy Museum in Los Angeles. Margaret Carrero got a preview.
The Marilyn Monroe Hollywood Icon exhibit at the Academy Museum literally opens the doors to a red carpet with a giant screen to your right Black and white images of Marilyn looking right at you, blowing kisses. You know, Marilyn is everywhere. She's always referenced. Her image is really well known, but I think a lot of people don't know the details behind how she created that image.
That's Associate Curator Sophia Serrano.
She was really involved behind the scenes, from photography, from design, from publicity, from acting.
She says